Hello, this is Brian. Today is Monday, March 20th, 2023, and I'm here in the city of Spring Valley at the Dictionary Hill Trailhead. Oh boy, is this trailhead wet. There's one of the main staging areas right there, Barcelona Avenue. All I'm trying to do is get to this swampy trailhead here. Wow. Oh boy, this trailhead is incredibly wet. Sheesh. So this is Dictionary Hill Open Space Park. The trail is basically a creek. It's so wet over here. But so yeah, the staging area is right over there. It's Barcelona Avenue. It's one of the staging areas. I chose that one because it would give me a little bit longer of a hike to the peak. So I'm actually going to finally hike Dictionary Hill. It's like a river. The trail's actually low-key a river. So I'm getting lucky today because we got another gully washer of a storm coming. So I'm out here getting ready to do a hike up to Dictionary Hill, and we had a little bit of light rain and drizzle late last night into this morning, but originally I didn't know if it was going to be raining after I got off. I got off of work at 1 o'clock, so I'm doing my hike today because Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be wet. So I'm not planning on going out on Tuesday. I'm doing another after work hike, just like last week. I think I'm going the right way. I'm going to be climbing up to Dictionary Hill today, just a little over 1,000 feet in elevation. According to the trailboard sign, the elevation gain is only going to be about 565 feet. Not too bad. Ay, ay, ay. So much water running through the trail. It's amazing. It's a very beautiful trail to start with. There's a huge shrub down there. I wonder if that's a Mission Manzanita. Very large shrub right there. Can't tell what it is from over here, but it looks like a Mission Manzanita or a summer holly. I can't tell from here. It's very large. It's almost the size of a small tree. I can't tell. I'm trying to see if I can see the bark from here. Doesn't look smooth. That could be a summer holly, maybe. I don't know. Maybe a Comarostophyllus diversifolia, maybe. But I don't know. Ooh, we got lots of really luscious miner's lettuce up here. This is going to be a very pretty trail. Some rocky sections on the side here. It's very scenic. So we're in coastal sage scrub right now. Well, this looks like, Claytonia perfoliata, subspecies perfoliata. So we have two varieties here. And I think this is the regular perfoliata, subspecies perfoliata. There's a subspecies mexicana, but I think the leaves are a little bit wider on one side, a little more oval shaped, with two prominent horns sticking out of the sides of the leaves. But I think that's subspecies perfoliata. It's very, very luscious over here. definitely the right time of year to hike this one. Pardon me. I think I'm going the right way. There are a lot of little trails mixed in around here. Ooh, munsage. This is the second place I've run into this one. This is munsage right here, Salvia munsii. Ooh, nice. This one's in full bloom. It looks a lot like black sage, only slightly lighter colored, and the flowers are more purple on it. This is a nice munsage right here. It's in full bloom too. Really beautiful. Alright, so I wonder what kind of interesting things I'm going to find today besides what I've seen already. So we're in the area of Spring Valley, south of La Mesa. Never really spent much time hiking in this area. First time I've ever been by Dictionary Hill. Beautiful area. I'm going to find some interesting things today. I have a feeling. So I think this area is pretty much all coastal sagebrush except for some small sections of riparian. When you first start off at the end of Barcelona Street, it's a forest of Eucalyptus comandulensis. Actually, pretty beautiful forest of eucalyptus. Wondering, guessing I'm gonna head up this way. Let me take this trail here. Now we got white sage too. Okay. Well, before my camera hits the 8-minute mark and cuts out on me, I'm gonna go ahead and climb up this, and I'll check in with you up the way. So I'm barely starting to charge up the hill and came across a nice population of onion plants, wild onions. These appear to be Allium praecox, the early onion. It's supposed to be one of the earlier onions to flower, and they are blooming very fiercely. Yeah, these appear to be Allium praecox. There's another species that's similar, with similar flowers, and that's Allium haematochaeton, which is redskin onion. But those redskin onions, they have similar flowers, but the plants are formed by rhizomes, and they bunch together to look like one plant. These ones seem to be a little more separated. So, judging by what I double checked on my field guide, these are Allium praecox, the early onion, and they're just blooming all over this hillside. I started noticing some uphill from where I was hiking, and I was thinking, okay, looks like my first trip up this hill is going to be quite a hike. There's a lot of onion growing along the side of the trail. The weird thing about me is I don't like eating onion. I don't like eating onions. I don't like onions in my food. But the plants themselves are really cool. So when you get to see them, take some time to appreciate them. So I definitely had to consult my San Diego County native plants, because I try to narrow it down that it could be early onion, Munn's onion, which I don't think grows here in San Diego County, I'm not sure, and redskin onion. So, sure looks like early onion to me. Since it rained and drizzled last night and early this morning, it's extremely fragrant out here. We've got a lot of white sage and California sagebrush. So it's extremely fragrant right now. It's a very beautiful trail. Really glad I did another after work hike, so I don't have to miss out on a week of hiking. There's no chance I'm going out tomorrow if it's going to be pouring rain. The wildflowers are really coming in hard right now. They're absolutely exploding all over this hillside. That was a little steep hill. Oh, look at that, more onions. Those are gorgeous. Early onion. Allium praecox. And allium is Latin for garlic. Onions and garlics are in the same family, the Alliaceae. We've got some more mud sage coming up too. It's going to be a pretty interesting hike. Of course, California 4 o'clock, or wishbone bush. This one's actually already past its peak. Maybe. And now we're starting to get golden yarrow starting to blow up right now. This is golden yarrow right here. Areophyllum confertiflorum, variety confertiflorum. And it's starting to become quite noticeable again. So most people might not notice the plant until it's blooming. I can usually spot it year round because I know what the leaves look like. They're really gray and lobed. Here we got San Diego sunflower. This one's just starting to open up. Or some of these other ones here, these other San Diego sunflowers are already opening up quite a bit. So this is, of course, if you see my videos, I point this one out a lot. It's very common here in San Diego County. This is Bachyopsis laciniata. They've got some more mud sage over here too. And I see more mud sage up ahead on the right side of the trail. So it's off to a very auspicious start. Yeah, it's really today is the vernal equinox. In other words, the first day of spring. The equinox has not happened yet, or it actually will happen, I think, around 5:30 this afternoon. It's probably only maybe about 2:30 right now, if even that. So about 3 more hours. Look at this mud sage. Wow. Wow, these are absolutely spectacular. These things are really blowing up. Salvia munzii. Absolutely fantastic. Look at that. They're just blowing up. I got some more mud sage up ahead. So this is a really cool coastal sage scrub here. And of course, good old friend Malosma laurina. Good old laurel sumac. There's some of that white sage right here. Haven't seen any black sage yet though. I don't know if that'll be a factor today, honestly. And of course, red monkey flower. It's the only monkey flower I've seen yet this year. Diplochus puniceus. It's probably the most common one here in San Diego County. When I was in Orange County, I used to see orange ones and especially yellow ones. The yellow ones, I think, used to be Diplochus aurantiacus, but I think they've changed taxonomy a little bit. They used to be, and some botanists still list them in the genus Mimulus, the monkey flowers, but I think most botanists put them in Diplochus now. There's a lot of mud sage up here. Beautiful. So I'm assuming I'm heading the right way to the the summit area. I think back in the day, this area used to be called Lookout Mountain. I think back in the 19th century. All right, well, I'm gonna run out of juice soon. So I'm gonna go ahead and take some pictures and keep in touch. I guarantee there's gonna be a lot more to see on this hunt. All right, so I'm about to crest this small hill here. I think that's going to be the peak over there. This one's a little bit lower, but I'm going to point out some pretty interesting views. Different perspective over here. What I'll do is get to this hill first. The air is so fresh out here. Absolutely fresh. Absolutely stupendous. It's a really cool coastal sage scrub. The Diegan sage scrub. In other words, the coastal sage scrub in the more southern portion of where sage scrub grows, like Orange County to Baja, called the Diegan sage scrub. That's the more species-rich version. Once you go up through LA, Ventura, and Santa Barbara counties, and up, you're going to have less diversity, apparently. So here's the top of one hill. Let's see. The highest peak is over there. So we're at the top of this one. And here's that California figwort plant I pointed out a few times. It's really starting to bloom now too. It's a Scrofularia californica, called California figwort, sometimes also known as bee plant. B-E. All right. So at the top of this peak here, I don't think this is the official one, but there's a nice little drop off on this side. What I might have to do is return, find another trail going that way. So I don't think this is Dictionary Hill. I think that's the peak right there. So I guess I'm going to actually be getting a two-peak hike in today for how short this is. So I'm at the summit of this little peak here. I don't want to spoil all the views yet, but I'm just going to kind of pan around and point out a couple things here and there. If you can even hear me with the breeze blowing. But now we're looking over towards Chula Vista. Hamul is kind of tucked in behind San Miguel Mountain. Good old San Miguel Mountain right there. Unfortunately, no hiking allowed, though people still do it anyways. I mean, I'd be tempted too. I mean, I've been admiring that mountain since I was a kid. However, this one here is called Mother Miguel Mountain. You can hike that. You can hike it. I don't know how many different ways to get up there, but if you park at this place called Mount San Miguel Park, you can get a trail from Mount San Miguel Park and climb up Mother Miguel Mountain, which is about 1,000 feet lower than San Miguel. San Miguel is 2,565. Mother Miguel's like about 1550 or something like that. I don't know the precise elevation. But yeah, that looks like that's going to be our summit right there. So I guess I'm doing a little two-peak adventure today. Yeah, I'm all for it if I can do it. If I can squeeze it in, I'm all for it. So I guess I'm just going to enjoy these views for a minute or two. Yep, that's looking over towards Mount Helix right there. There's Coles Mountain and Mission Trails. So yeah, we get some pretty good views over here. There's definitely some more backcountry that I'm going to be pointing out when I get to the top of Dictionary Hill. But you can see Las Islas Coronados right off the Baja coast. I hope you can hear me. But yeah, it was starting to clear up when I was at work. The sun was coming out, and now it's clouding up again. I guess it's not to be surprised about that. So I'm gonna have to look on the topo maps and try to estimate how high this little summit is, because there's a nice little drop off. It looks like it might be over 100 feet. So we'll just call this the first peak of the day. I guess I'm gonna be doing two. I didn't think I was gonna be, but heck, why not? If I can do it, why not just do it? All right. Okay, I'm gonna go take a picture or two, and I'm gonna start winding my way and working my way towards finding that trail and getting up there. All right, catch you on the next clip. Okay, so now, let's see. So I came from this way. I came this way, went up this, and was over by those rocks over there. So now what I'm going to try to do is see if I can link to that side from here, over towards the high point. So, which will be summit number 2. A little muddy spot here. But yeah, if you saw the beginning of my video, how crazy wet it was at the trailhead. I mean, it was basically like a swamp. Okay, so I think we're gonna be heading the right way now. Hopefully this will link down to the saddle and then lead me up to the peak there. So I say whenever I can do a multiple peak day, even a short hike like this, if I can do it, legally do it without trespassing, I'm all game for it. I'm all game for a multi-peak climb. This is a very short one, so I mean, my next bet is just to ramble up that, basically. Oh, something did come down from the other side. There's another trail coming from over here. So I bet if I went a little further, the summit's up there, the first peak. So if I went a little bit further, I probably would have seen the trail come in here, but it's all right. I'm still heading the right way though. I'm just gonna go down to that saddle. It's actually working up a pretty good sweat coming up here. There's a school nearby that had a sign on it that said it was only 58 degrees. It's definitely below normal, but it's kind of balmy, it's kind of humid because the soil's very wet here. The plants are very verdant and green, and they got a lot of water still on them. So it's a little humid. So I was working up a nice little sweat coming up here. And when I was on top of the hill, that breeze kicking in from the ocean really felt nice and really refreshing. Just felt great. So I think this is another neighborhood access point. Because there was another trail that was starting to lead down to where there were some houses on the side of the hill. There are a lot of trails here. I think this park is still under development. I was kind of reading the kiosk over in Barcelona saying, while the park there's still stuff that needs to be done. The trails aren't marked or anything. They're going to stay open so people can hike it. I was kind of scrambling last night before I was supposed to go to bed around 7:30. You know, I get up, I go into work at 4 in the morning, so I get to go to bed pretty early. But it was up till about 7:45. I tried to go to bed around 7:30, trying to plan exactly where I was going to go. I was going to try to go to Flynn Springs County Park and see if there was a way I could climb up to Flynn Springs Peak and Flynn Peak, but I think part of that area is closed. I've been reading on all trails, so I was like, okay, well, maybe not. I was going to try to do a different way in Crest Ridge to get to another peak. If you saw my video back in late November, I did a hike up this small peak with a water tower on it near Crest Ridge Ecological Reserve. Well, actually in the reserve, kind of. Peak 1763. That was 2 days before Thanksgiving. And then there's another peak further off called Peak 1754. Well, it's not an officially named peak, obviously. But doing it from Horsemill on Crest Ridge, Horsemill entrance, it would make it roughly about an 8-mile hike. And getting off at 1 o'clock doesn't really give me much time to do that kind of hike. Especially don't want to do an 8-mile hike after working for 8 hours. But hopefully before the big late spring, early summer heat kicks in, maybe I can still take a stab at it. I'd like to get to that peak too. I think it's just Chaparral and the Use Trail getting up there, so should be a pretty remote peak, especially compared to Peak 1763. It's a pretty cool peak though too. So I don't know if that's quite 100 feet. Yeah, close to it probably. First I'll be looking on the topo maps, Cal Topo. I don't think that's going to be on Peak Bagger. I don't think that is Dictionary Hill. I think this is it here. And that's going by the assumption that Dictionary Hill's the high point. Again, this used to be called Lookout Mountain over about 140 years ago. I've read about it online and also had a little mention of it on the kiosk too. And that'll be the first picture, the intro picture to my video. So we click on the video. The first picture you'll see is the trail board. And you'll see the kiosk for the beginning of this beautiful park. Alright. This is really fun. This is a cool place. I like it. Alright. I'm going to be hitting the 8-minute mark soon, so before my video cuts me off mid-sentence, let me finish working my way up a little bit. And in the meantime, you can see a few pictures of my way up here. Alright. I don't even remember if I even took a picture between the last clip and this one. It'll be on the video if it's there. Okay. So I'm reaching a small plateau before looks like what's the final climb. Such a cool place. I know it's pretty sparsely foliated up here, but I'm up here in the right season to really see blooms popping off. Most of the year, this will be pretty dry looking. But I'm seeing some other plants I'm going to have to break out the field guide for pretty soon. Yeah, see something I don't recognize. Oh, looks like I'm going to have to bust out the field guide today. See a couple things here that I don't recognize yet. That's all right. That's how you learn. Is by seeing them, not knowing what they are, looking them up. So yeah, I'm glad I'm getting my hike right now, because tomorrow it's gonna likely be pouring rain. Might get a couple of inches of rain, and then the mountains might be, some parts of the mountains might be measuring snow by the feet again. Wow, pretty neat. Got a flag up ahead. Take a look at that and see what it is. Then we get these little small white plants here, little white flower plants. Some of these might be cryptanthus, popcorn flowers. I'm not even sure what these are. They're all related, cryptanthus and stuff like that. They're all borage family plants, Boraginaceae. We get small white flower plants called popcorn flowers, cryptanthus, and there's another one too. Grappling hook plants too. I think have small white flowers. I think they're in the genus Harpagonella or something like that. So I do have a lot of learning to do for my small herbaceous plants, but I'd like to think I'm coming along pretty well. I said the field guide comes along, and that's where I gain my knowledge. Okay, so it's not a flag, it's a pet waste kiosk where you can pick up a bag to clean up after your dog. All right, so we got some other roads. So looking like this is going to be a pretty short peak hike, so I could probably spend some time just hiking around and exploring and looking for botanical interest. Okay, well, speaking of botanical interest, now lower down on the hill I kept pointing out munsage and munsage. There were lots of munsages. Now, as we're getting close to the higher hill here, now we got black sage, and it's blooming too. See, it's a very similar looking plant to munsage, but the flowers are whitish to whitish blue. So now we're in black sage territory. So this is black sage, Salvia mellifera. Now it's black sage now. Now black sage is taken over. I don't see any munsage now. It's all black sage taken over on this portion of the hill. But down around the other hill, there's a lot of munsage. All right, we're about to keep working my way up here. The trail steepness has definitely mellowed out a lot. It's not a really hard hike. There are a couple steep spots, but it's a pretty easy hike. I mean, I've been getting more experience with hikes, even though I haven't done any super long ones. The longest one I've done since last March was Norte Madera and Los Pinos Mountains over in Cleveland National Forest. You won't be able to see them right now because they're under the clouds. So that was about 11 miles of hiking. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and keep working my way up. We'll see. Should be getting up there pretty soon. I don't think it's gonna be much longer. Then I maybe get to explore some of the other portions of this park, see what other cool things I find today. Okay, so most of the way up this. Let's see what's going on. Getting close to the summit of this hill. It's probably gonna be it here, I imagine. Big old rock design up here. Rocks around the trail or something. Okay, so this has got to be it. This is the highest. This is the highest hill. This has to be Dictionary Hill. So I'm guessing this is it. Dictionary Hill, Lookout Mountain. It's a little over 1,000 feet in elevation. I don't know the exact elevation, but it's between 1,000 and 1,100 feet. Of course, I can look it up and post it, but yeah, this is the summit right here. You're gonna have to walk around a little bit to see 360. So it's a pretty flat summit plateau. But I noticed there's a big ring of rocks around the summit of this hill, and I have a suspicion why that might be. Let me see. Walk around to this side here. I should have just walked the other way, but I'll be here anyways. Suspicious as to why. This might be a vernal pool. Not sure, but I think this is a vernal pool. It looks like a vernal pool. I don't know if it's just one of those big mud puddles that usually you find on the trails after lots of rain. This looks kind of like a vernal pool to me. Trying to see if I see any signs of life in there. This might be a vernal pool. Not 100% sure. I'm just trying to see if I see life. Of course, I'm not going to step any closer than I am now. Yeah, this is a vernal pool. I see a bunch of little critters swimming around in there. Like I said, I'm not going to step any closer. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but I see lots of little things swimming around in there. Yeah, this is definitely a vernal pool. If I could find a place to squat without, if I could find a place to squat a little bit closer, I might be able to see if these are fairy shrimp. But if you look carefully, I don't know if the camera will pick it up. There are lots of little tiny critters swimming around in there. Tiny light brown colored ones. Try to see if I can kneel down just a little bit closer. Try to be careful so I can see what's going on over here. Can't tell. They're so tiny. They are so small, I can't even tell what they are. They're really tiny. They're light brown. I think they're fairy shrimp. Of course, the shininess of the water surface will preclude a very good view of it. But I'm just trying to be careful not to step over and do any damage to the vernal pool. This is the closest I've ever been able to get to a vernal pool. But yeah, they are so small. And I'm not going to pick one up and disturb it. But yeah. I'm looking at the viewer on my camera, and I can kind of see some stuff moving around in the viewer. If you see in the center of the screen there, you see things swimming off to the side, swimming about. That's what I'm looking at. They are so tiny I cannot see them in good detail. I think those are fairy shrimps. Woo! A little dizzy from that. I think those are fairy shrimp. Fairy shrimps. That's pretty cool. So that's a vernal pool. That's what I was looking at when I was doing Alana's Canyon last week. That's what I saw swimming around. They, like I said, they look like fairy shrimp, but I really can't tell 100% because they're so gosh darn small. I think this is just a trail right here. I'm scrutinizing all the puddles, looking for signs. Not very sure. Again, what I'm assuming those are. I mean, they are so small, they are hard to see, even with the naked eye. And I was less than a foot above the water, and I still not 100% confident in that. Wow, that's pretty cool though. Pretty neat. Like I said, I don't want to get too close and then disturb the water. These are very endangered habitats. I don't see anything going on in this little puddle here. But yeah, that one right there is definitely a vernal pool. Alright, so again, this is Dictionary Hill. I didn't know there would be vernal pools up here. So there's a nice little surprise right there. And there's another puddle over here that might be a vernal pool too. So that's probably why these rocks are around here, to hopefully let people know not to step around in there. I think this might be one too. See anything swimming around in here. Check this one. This would be a likely vernal pool here. This one's not blocked off. Yeah, I see things swimming around in here. Well, it's about to hit the 8-minute mark. I'm gonna do a little photography, then I'm gonna start looking out the views. We'll see you on the next clip. Alright, so I've just been hanging out up here, looking around, just admiring these little vernal pools. I guess this one here is cordoned off, I guess to keep people from messing with the vernal pools. I'm surprised that one is not cordoned off. Yeah, this one's definitely a larger vernal pool. This one's probably up to maybe about 5 inches deep, maybe that's deepest spot. That one there is maybe about 2 inches deep. But yeah, this is really cool stuff to see. Again, if you look carefully on the screen, I don't know how well it'll show up, but I'm trying to see if I can do it without the water shine. Do it without the water shining, maybe. they're right here, even beyond the rock enclosure. That's about as close as I'm going to get. I don't want to drop this on anything in there. But hopefully you can see them. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds just in this little section here. So they're all over the pool. They're everywhere. Again, I'm trying to look to see if I can see any discernible features. It's kind of hard to see. Try to see if I can lean down a little bit more so I can see any features of these guys. Pretty cool. Really neat to see this stuff. They're just inches from my fingers. Like I said, I'm trying to be careful not to drop the camera or anything. So tiny. Alright. Next clip, I'm going to start pointing out the sites. So I'll see you on the next clip. Okay. Now it's time to take a look at some landmarks and views right up here on Dictionary Hill. Okay, so we're going to kind of look to the north. We're going to start off in the north. North of us, not that far away, is Mount Helix in the Casa de Oro Mount Helix area of the La Mesa area. So it's around La Mesa. So that's north. Mount Helix right there, 1,373 feet. Now we're going to go switch a little bit to the northwest. And then there's Powell's Mountain, high point in Mission Trails Regional Park at 1,591. I believe that's North Fortuna over there. I think it's North Fortuna Mountain right there, 1,291 feet. And that's looking over towards, I can see the Claremont Mesa Trailhead in here, Sena, over there. And that right there, that hill that's closer up, behind that is Navajo Canyon and Rancho Mission Canyon. So, not that far away, actually. Now we're looking over towards, more towards the west-northwest, and we can see the little business district, the University Town Center between University City and La Jolla, and then that's Soledad Mountain, which is right next to La Jolla, of course. Mission Bay is right down there, and then we're going to start swinging more towards the west. And of course, San Diego Bay right here, North Bay, downtown, and of course Cabrillo National Monument over there in Point Loma. And then we're looking over towards the South Bay, looking towards National City, Chula Vista, as we look more towards the southwest. Now we're looking at Las Islas Coronadas in Baja, Coronado Islands, and in Chula Vista, and then there's the Sweetwater Reservoir, which is right next to Chula Vista. And then, now we're swinging more towards the south, we're looking towards Mother Miguel Mountain. San Miguel Mountain, the cloud deck is lowered, so now you can't even see the summit of San Miguel Mountain. It's like the cloud deck is lowered to about 2,000 feet, or at least these lower clouds. There are at least two different layers of clouds, mid-level and lower clouds. These look like large stratocumulus clouds right now. And they're lowering, the clouds are lowering over here. Then you're looking over towards Lions Peak as we're swinging over a little more towards the east. And that cloud deck's a little bit higher because Lions Peak is 3,741 feet. And so that cloud deck's a little bit higher over there. And then I can see Gaskill Peak right there. Looks like Lawson Peak is under the clouds over there. But Gaskill Peak, which is a little bit higher, must be on the other side of a cloud, so you can't really see it that well. I think that pointy one there, I think that's McGinty. I think that's McGinty Mountain. That's looking over towards Hamul right now. So now we're going to start swinging it more towards the northeast. And the cloud deck's a little bit higher over there because that's Viejas Mountain right there at 4,187 feet. And the cloud deck looks like it's about 4,000 feet there. So the top of Viejas is barely in the clouds. So the cloud deck must be 4,000 feet over there. So these are different layers of clouds, different levels of stratocumulus clouds. And then you won't be able to see Cuyamaca Peak, so I'm not even going to try pointing it out, but it would be over there. And then the cloud deck must be a little bit lower because that's El Cajon Mountain, or at least the lower portions of it, as we're looking more towards the northeast. The top of it is 3,675, and that is a significant portion of it obscured, so that cloud layer must be probably a little bit below 3,000 feet over there. And let's see what else I can see over here. One of those will probably be Eagle Peak. I don't know how to pick that one up. Eagle Peak's not that far from El Cajon Mountain. That should be one of my hikes pretty soon, hopefully. And we're swinging back to Mount Helix. So, yeah, there's some pretty good views up here. This is a really, really nice area. I like this hill. So now what I want to do is maybe, now that I've done the business part, which business part I do put that in quotation marks, kind of like a humorous thing. The business part is getting to the peaks. Now it's time for the exploratory part. So now what I'm going to do is maybe start looking at some other trails to see if I can explore a little bit more around here. See what I can find. Maybe jump a spotlight video. Maybe find a plant spotlight. There are a couple of them in the back of my head right now that I'm thinking about. So I'm gonna go down this wider trail here. There are a lot of interconnecting trails in this park, so I'm not worried about getting lost. This is the way I came up. I am not worried about getting lost. This is a small preserve, and there are lots of trails, so I can definitely find my way out of here. Anyways, that hill with the two water towers is pretty close to where I'm parked. Anyways, it's right near, not that far from my parking area. But I want to go just explore a little bit and see what's popping around here, because this is a very pretty area. Alright. Let me start working my way down. That was the trail junction above the saddle. That was where the doggy bags are in that little kiosk. Well, actually, it's a little further down. But that was the first hill I climbed right there. That's the first peak right there. This one's quite a bit higher. So now I can say I've climbed 2 hills today, which is always fun. But maybe I could poke around over on this side, maybe? Because I came from over there. Let's see. I'll see. I'll keep you updated. The trails branch off in every direction here, so there's a lot to explore. So I'll see you on the next clip. Okay, so there's the summit, and this is where I came from. This is where I came. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explore this old service road here, go this way a little bit, and maybe go that way a little bit as well, and just see where it happens to lead. That was the first hill I was on right there. Another one of those curious trail puddles. I try to avoid stepping in them. I don't want my shoes to get wet, but let's see here. Yeah, I don't think this is a vernal pool. I don't see any little critters zigzagging around in there. But now every time I see a puddle, I'm probably gonna scrutinize it and see what's going on. I'm curious. See, the higher elevations of this hill go from mund sage to black sage. Now it's all black sage with, of course, some occasional white sage popping up. But it's all black sage up here now, as opposed to mund sage like it was on that hill down there and the lower slopes of it. Now it's black sage. And it's blowing fiercely up here now. Black sage is really, it's taking its time in the spotlight. And believe me, plant enthusiasts like me is going to take notice and appreciate it. It's going to be probably time for me to start doing ode videos again. It's been a while since I've done an ode video to any plant species I've previously spotlighted, and that's what I'm waiting. That's what I wait to do, an ode video, until after I've spotlighted it first. There's some lupines on the hill there. Like I said, I'm not going to go off trail in this little preserve. I usually leave that for where you can do it if you do it carefully, like in national forests and stuff like that. But this is a little park preserve, so I'm gonna be a good boy and try and stick to the trail today. So, you know, I like to go cross country. You know, you've seen my hikes, some of my hikes. And when the summer comes and I'm planning higher mountain hikes, there will probably be a pretty good element of that this year as well. I'm going to have to, despite the fact that I live much further away from the San Bernardino Mountains and the San Gabriel Mountains, despite that, I am going to try to get some visitation in those mountains this summer, because I want to get up in elevation again. I miss the high mountains. I miss hanging out with the lodgepole and limber pines. I saw limber pines in 2022 over on Mount Pinos, but I didn't see lodgepole pines last year. I'm kind of missing out. With regard to this, it looks like this is heading down, probably going to drop down to near the neighborhood. But like I said, this is the exploratory portion of the video. So it's my main goal of the day, reaching the peak, has been achieved. So now I can foot it around these trails and see what other really awesome things I can find. Maybe I can find something that I haven't spotlighted before. And there are a couple of ideas floating around in my head right now, and they're going to be more herbaceous plants, herbaceous perennials and annuals, most likely. I think this is Douglas nightshade right here. I think this is Solanum douglasii, I believe, because there are a few species of nightshade, and a lot of the ones are actually purple flowered, but Douglas nightshade and a couple other species are white flowered. I'll double check on this one. I'll kind of cross-reference it with some of the species of Solanum, but I think this is Solanum douglasii. But I'm not 100% sure about that one. I've seen white flowered ones a couple times, and Solanum douglasii is a white flowered type of that plant. It's called nightshade. Same family as the potato, eggplant, all in the nightshade family, the Solanaceae. Okay. I'm thinking this is going to lead to a cul-de-sac. A lot of these trails will lead down to neighborhoods, so I think it's going to be right up here. That'll be my turnaround point for this portion of the area. Let's see. How short it was for me getting up to the two hills. I don't think this will be any shorter of a video than usual. I hate to say it. I said when I get into exploring, I like to explore in detail, and I like to convey that detail on video. A few sprinkles. Well, I was lucky. I was able to get to that summit without getting rained on. So, hey, mission accomplished. At least I won't be spending my whole day hiking in the rain. Alright, so yeah, I can see there's a cul-de-sac down here. plenty of memory cards. Got a fair amount of batteries. For next hike, I'll definitely need to get some more batteries. But yeah. Look at the views up here. I like the views up here. Absolutely beautiful. Love the views towards San Miguel Mountain. And of course, Mother Miguel Mountain. That'll probably be one of my hikes within a year. Within the year, probably. I imagine I'll probably eventually do that one. Of course, I'll be wishing I were up on that one too, though. Mother Miguel will probably be pretty cool too. Who knows what I'll find up there. But okay, now it's time to start climbing up. Climbing around those like sugar gum eucalyptus trees over there. All right. See you on the next clip. Okay, so remember the grove of eucalyptus trees? So this is where I was coming down, right over there. I'm gonna see what's up here. Looks like a trail. Oh, it's gonna be a muddy one, unfortunately. Yeah, might be able to avoid the worst of the mud by hiking on the side of the trail. Just see what happens if I climb up this. Get a little miniature gully, trickling water. It's so cool. You can see where it washes out pretty often when it rains a lot. So this must be several years of water flow. We got caterpillar, looks like caterpillar phacelia up here too. Oh, this looks like a cryptantha. Yeah, it's got to be some type of cryptantha. It looks like it could be Cryptantha intermedia, but there are several species of cryptanthus, and telling them apart's a little beyond my current knowledge set. But these got to be cryptanthus. Possibly Cryptantha intermedia. Let's see what's on top of this. This might just lead back to the summit. I don't know. But I started seeing a couple of purple flowered nightshades, so it could be Solanum parishii. I think this is going to lead back to the peak, actually. Go check out this eucalyptus patch here. These species don't look too familiar to me. Might be something a little bit different. These are different. Not sure what species this is. Nice little spot right here. Thought maybe sugar gum before, but I'm looking at the bark now. It's definitely not sugar gum bark. Yeah. Could be Commondulensis. Maybe. Very stunted ones, maybe? This looks like a cool little spot to kick it. Set up if you don't mind carrying a lawn chair up the hill. Yeah, these are definitely not Cladocalix. Yeah, I think these are... Yeah, they look like probably Eucalyptus commondulensis, I think. They're a little different. Let me see if the smell's kind of similar. I'm going to just take a dried leaf. Yeah, it smells like Eucalyptus commondulensis, kind of. Cool little spot. Hang out by some small eucalyptus trees, yeah. Yeah, these look like Comodulensis, just very stunted and a lot more rough bark on them. As you go up higher in the tree, you can kind of see the relatively smooth pattern of Eucalyptus comodulensis. But a lot of these trees have some furrowed lower bark. So yeah, definitely not sugar gum, that's for sure. Cool little spot. Definitely worth a little extra side trip to visit, in my opinion. Nice little, probably cool little spot to just sit back and hang out underneath some eucalyptus trees. I'm a big fan of eucalyptus trees. You shouldn't be surprised. I'm pretty much like that about pretty much any species of tree. Native, especially native, but not necessarily have to be native for me to love it. Cool little spot. So I'm assuming this is going to meet up with the summit. I'm just gonna trudge up a little bit more, and I'm gonna see if that's the case. Let's see what happens when I get up here. All right. Yeah, it looks like it's just gonna lead up towards the peak. All right. Well, I'm just gonna go head back. And I'm gonna follow the wide trail around the other side of Dictionary Hill and see what's good over there. And again, as I was mentioning, golden yarrow is really starting to blow up right now. Look at that, brilliant, beautiful golden yarrow. Areofilm confertiform, ready confertiform. Since I live in a really small mobile home park community, and their rules are not to plant any big trees, any large shrubs or trees, growing small coastal sage grub plants would probably be a good idea for me. And I do have some seeds at home that I ordered online from Theodore Payne Foundation, but I haven't sowed them yet. Probably really need to get on that. Yeah, a lot of coastal sage scrub plant type seeds like sagebrush. I've germinated wild captured California sagebrush. Obviously not from a preserve or a state park or anything. I would never do that. But I have collected seed and sowed quite a few native plants. Obviously, like I said, I don't do it from preserves or parks, and I'm not one of those poachers who yanks plants out of the ground. I want to grow it, but I'd rather do minimal impact. And yanking plants out of the ground is not my cup of tea, despite how beautiful they are. I'd rather do it myself. Get the effort by growing the plants myself. It's more, to me, it's more rewarding to cultivate them than just buy plants, especially much better than poaching them, which should never be done in the wild. I saw a video a few years ago, I think it was on YouTube, and there were these people out in the Antelope Valley, which is north of the San Gabriel Mountains, north of Los Angeles, and they were digging up California junipers from the wild to take them home and turn them into bonsai. And making California natives into bonsai is a really cool idea. I had thought about doing it, probably should have tried doing it, but not by digging them out of the ground. Buy them from a nursery or start them from seed. It's the best way to do it, in my opinion. It's a lot more time to take than digging out bigger plants in the wild, but it's better than pulling plants out of their habitat. And you get to revel in the accomplishment of having grown plants yourself. To me, is always a win. Okay, it's enough of a public service announcement. I'm gonna go swing around the other side and see what else I find on this trail. Catch you along the way. Okay, so I'm on the other side, that, so assuming this is probably going to dead end by the water towers. I'm assuming. Probably will. So I'll just probably follow this until it ends at the towers. I mean the water tower. I think I can see Interstate 8 down there. Oh no, Interstate 8's on the other side of Mount Helix actually. It's on the other side, north of it. It might be the 120. Excuse me. I think that's the 125 maybe over there. I know the 94's near here too. I was on it for a brief period of time. Yeah, looks like this is where this is going to dead end on me. So, it was worth trying to take some time to explore and see what's going on over here. Definitely worth the time, in my opinion. Otay Water District. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if that's actually a hiking trail over there. I'm kind of tempted to explore and see. Let me see. I'll get back to you on that. We'll see. We'll see what's over there. Okay. I'm wondering if this is a trail. It's not cordoned off or anything, so I'll just go down a little ways. If it looks legit, I'll stick to it. Kind of looks like a trail a little bit. Yeah, kind of does. Head maybe down towards that low canyon or something. Very nice and green. One thing about late winter and early spring, it is green. If it rains, that is. If you get rain during the winter. Well, that seems pretty legit. So let's see. Looks like it goes quite a ways down this way. Looks like it swings left. Starts heading more towards the northwest, maybe. Excellent views up here, though, I'll tell you that. Some good views down into Spring Valley, La Mesa. Here's some crazy bird sounds down in the canyon. Don't recognize the calls. So we'll see where this goes. See if I can link it back to where I'm parked. I think it's Barcelona right there, underneath that hill with the water towers on it. I think that's it. Pretty sure that's where I'm parked. Blue-eyed grass. Here we go again. Just like last week. Starting to poke up here. Caesaricum bellum. Blue-eyed grass popping up again. We've got a nice little population of it here, actually. Ooh, okay. Beautiful plant. I believe it's in the iris family, the Iridaceae. Pretty sure that's the family it's from. So it's not grass, obviously. Grass doesn't get flowers like that. So it's just a namesake because of the leaves. The blades on them look like grass blades. Ooh. Little tiny Coast Cholla. Little tiny one. Look at this blue-eyed grass. Beautiful. A nice little spot of them here. There's quite a few more. very muddy over here, though. I'm just taking my time. I wonder if some of this is revegetation. I think some of this is a revegetation project beyond this little fence here. Ooh, spiny redberry roundness crocea. It's starting to get its fruit. Starting to get its little red fruit on them. I don't think they're technically berries. I think, if I remember reading correctly, I think the fruit are supposed to be in a seed capsule surrounded by a fleshy pericarp, which means a fleshy part that surrounds the fruit. So I think the fruit is a seed capsule that bursts open. I think that's what it does. I think it just has a fleshy pericarp. Look at that. Blue-eyed grass. It's all over here now. Okay. Day just keeps getting more interesting by the trail. I don't know what happened over here. This laurel sumac suffered some hard times. Well, somebody planted a toy on right here. Cool. The larger laurel sumac. It's like there was a Canary Island date palm trying to grow in there, but it didn't make it far, unfortunately. Yeah. Blue-eyed grass. A nice little spot of it around here. So I'm digging that pretty hard. Really cool area. Ooh, it's very muddy. This is extremely muddy, actually. I can imagine what this is going to be like tomorrow and Wednesday. Oh. So, just making sure this isn't a vernal pool. This looks like just like a puddle. I don't see any fairy shrimp swimming around in there, so I'm just assuming it's a trail puddle. The last thing I want to do. It's just very muddy over here. Wow. Okay. Well, I'll see you down the way. See what else I can find. Blue-eyed grass everywhere. Look at that. It's all over the place now. Very interesting. All right, I'll see you up the way. All right, so down from the hill quite a ways. You see a water tower up there. Just stopped to film a spotlight video. I'll start putting my spotlight videos on separate video cards, SD cards. So when I put my hiking videos up, I don't have to go in there and look at each clip and weed out the ones that belong on the spotlight video versus the hiking video. So I'm gonna start that. Okay, so anything interesting coming up here? Let's see. Oh, an Audubon's cottontail hopping across the brush there. Well, there's a nice eucalyptus comadulensis. A nice river red gum. So yeah, those trees, one of the previous clips, further back, those really small ones, had to have been smaller stunted ones. This one's pretty young. This is a fairly young tree. And there's another water tower right there. There are quite a few water towers around here. So now we're coming down. Looks like we've got some more trail here to explore. Sometimes I wonder if I should even further subdivide my videos. Like I used to, before I had reliable video editing software, I used to put all my videos in clips. Like it'd be clip 1 of 2, clip 1 of 10, 2 of 10, 3 of 10. I bet that must have been very tedious. Although it's probably not much easier to watch my 2.5 hour videos, but I like putting it in one video better. But sometimes I'm wondering if I should subdivide my videos, like maybe do a shorter version where I hike to the peak and hike back, and then do a separate video. But it'd get too complicated. I think I'll stick to what I got going on. All right, enough yapping. Here's a toyon right here. Heteromeles arbudifolia. And behind it's a laurel sumac. You can see it. Yeah, I gotta go around here to see it. There's a laurel sumac right behind it. Pretty nice sized toyon. It's definitely had some rough times, as you can tell. Actually, some of those branches might be coming from the laurel sumac. But yeah, there's a laurel sumac behind it. And then the eucalyptus behind that. So yeah, I gotta admit, this is a very delightful place to visit. Really enjoyed this so far. I mean, my adventure's technically not over yet. I kind of need to maneuver my way back and see if I can find a trail that connects back to where Barcelona Street trailhead is. These clouds are definitely starting to lower, and they are starting to thicken. So I think the rain's supposed to hold off the gist of it till tonight or tomorrow morning. But definitely going to keep my eyes on the sky. We'll see how that goes. Ooh. Oh, this looks like Coast Paintbrush. Oh. Yeah, I think this is Castanea affinis, subspecies affinis. Ooh. See, when I did the hike last week at Alanis Canyon, I found some other type of paintbrush. I wasn't 100% sure of what it was, so I just took a picture of it, looked it up, and then when I put it in with the video, I had it already identified by then. And that was Castanea foliolosa. But that one has grayer leaves. This one appears to be Castanea affinis, subspecies affinis. I'm pretty sure that's what this is here, I think. Beautiful. A little less gray than Castanea foliolosa. I think this is Castanea affinis, subspecies affinis. Excuse me. Yeah, looks like Coast Paintbrush. See, Castanea foliolosa is another species that's found here in the low elevations. And that one is more of a grayish color. But yeah, this looks like Castanea affinis, subspecies affinis. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Of course, I will cross-reference it. And I'm going to take a picture of it, and so it'll be up in the video. And then I'm going to go see where this trail leads and see if I can navigate back or if I'm going to have to hoof it over the hill again. If I do, oh well, just have to do it. This has just been a great day, and it's really hard to put a negative spin on a day like today. All right, I'll see you up the way. Okay, so I've reached the bottom of this gulch. I'm gonna see if I can follow this, if there's a trail here. It looks to be the case. We got some nice trickles of water flowing here too. Ooh, I think there are tadpoles in here. Ooh, some kind of tadpole action going on, I think. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how to tell species of amphibians from tadpoles, but there are tadpoles in here. Could be spadefoot toads. Don't know. Apparently, this is a vernal pool. So I think I see those little brown flecks swimming around. So I think this might be... Yeah, I think those are probably fairy shrimp in there, I think. So this appears to be like a vernal creek. Because there's some water flow, actually. Usually the ponds are pretty stagnant. But I do see evidence of tadpoles swimming around. And I think I see fairy shrimp swimming around in there, too. But yeah, I'm not sure what species of amphibian that is. Could be a frog, could be a toad, could be a spadefoot toad. So I'm not really sure 100%. But there's something swimming around. There's some tadpole action in there. I haven't learned how to tell species based on their larval stage, which the tadpole is the larval stage of frogs and toads. But yeah, some type of tadpole. So I don't know if it could be Baja chorus frogs, it could be anything else. So I'm just making sure if I follow this trail that I'm not going to be encroaching on vernal pool habitat. If that's the case, I might have to reroute my hiking back, because I am not going to disturb a habitat. Interesting. I don't think so. Let me see. All right. Let me work my way down, and I'll see you at the next update. Yeah, I was able to avoid stepping on the water by just walking on the very edge of the trail. Like I said, I'm trying to be very careful while I'm crossing through here, because I thought I saw a couple tadpoles even along this mid-trail creek. So I'm taking it very careful. If I come across a vernal pool in the middle of the trail and I can't get around it, I will go back and go around the long way, just so I don't disturb any habitat. So I'm trying to be very careful about this here. Last thing I want to do is destroy any vernal pool habitat. All right. All right, well, I'll see you on the next clip. This is so beautiful here. This is such a peaceful place to visit. I think I might have my answer as to what species of tadpole is around here. Heard some Baja chorus frog croaking right now. So I think that's what we have. Most likely. Just gotta be very careful where I step. Now you can hear one of the frogs croaking right now. Literally a stream in the middle of the trail. So I'm trying to be as careful as I can to get through this. I know there's going to be a lot of water on the end of my hike too, underneath those river red gum eucalyptus trees. Oh, here's a Gooding's black willow right here. Sally's Gooding-y. And look at this, a couple of Aleppo pines and his hummingbird. Yeah, a couple of young Aleppo pines. And up the hills, a related Italian stone pine. Yeah, here's another young Aleppo pine right here. They're adult enough to have cones all over them. So there must be a Baja chorus frog around here. There must be a few of them, probably. I'm trying to see if I can find one. So I'm assuming that's what the tadpoles are. Baja chorus frogs, I'm assuming. Trying to see if I see anything hopping around here, which would be really dope. I didn't think there'd be so much water here. Literally trying my hardest to stay on the trail, but also stay out of the water so I don't step on any tadpoles. Like I said, tadpole survival rate, well actually I didn't say anything about that yet, but tadpole survival rate is very low to get to adulthood. So I'm kind of looking around to see if I see any type of amphibian activity. Pretty sure there are more tadpoles in there. Oh, there's a small chorus frog right there in the water. I'm going to zoom in on it. It's kind of bloated. It's more of a brown phase Baja chorus frog. Right there, right in the center of the camera. That's a small Baja chorus frog right there. Pseudocris hypochondriaca. I love seeing these little guys. They just make my day so much happier. What a beautiful little guy. Probably a male, I'm assuming. With a lot of amphibians, a lot of times the females are larger than the males. And then the males, when they're mating, they grasp on to the back of the female when they're having intercourse. And they call it amplexus, which is from Latin to grasp or to hug. But yeah, there's a little chorus frog right down there. Look at that little guy. What a beauty. Hello, gorgeous. You are a beautiful little guy. It's just staring. It's not even... I'm assuming it's a he. It's probably a he. Probably the one that was croaking. Is not even swimming away or anything. So I live for moments like this. Again, I love plants, but I also love herps. Again, reptiles and amphibians. I love herps. And this is the kind of stuff I live for as well. I miss seeing these guys, and it's so good to see you right there. Right in the middle of the screen. What a beauty. Look at that. Yep. Oh, wow. What a beautiful little frog. Of course, right when the camera's going to die. But yeah, look at that. Let's see if I can get any closer. Look at that. The camera will probably give out the battery. I'll have to dig in my pack to get some more, but I'll let the clip end on this. Beautiful. That is so cool. I love seeing amphibians. Alright. I'm going to give that frog a little peace and quiet, and I'm going to continue on. See you up the way. Alright. I'm start making it through this slushy mess over here. This is one wet trail, I'll tell you. Ay, ay, ay. Just tried a couple different batteries. My camera wasn't working for a while. I was wondering what the heck was going on with it. It's getting really, really wigged out for a second there. It's kind of bugging out. Camera, putting in batteries, my camera wouldn't turn on. Tried some of the older ones and what I thought were the newer ones, and I couldn't get it to turn on. I got it on now. Yeah, so I'm kind of on frog watch right now. Trying to see if I can catch sight of any more of these beautiful little creatures. Remember one thing is, when I was growing up, my late mother, unfortunately, she passed away in 2021. She was a huge fanatic of frogs, all types of frogs, toads. She loved amphibians. She loved amphibians, she loved reptiles, but she especially liked frogs. I don't know, honestly, I don't know if I got her into frogs. When I was a kid, I was really passionate about them, or if she got me into them. I don't even remember. I don't know. Nor does it really matter, but she was very passionate about frogs, so. And toads. She loves critters. She loves critters. So that one's for you, Mom. Hopefully I can get across this little section here. This looks pretty wet. This looks pretty gnarly. Again, trying to be careful, not step on anything either. Pretty sure. Oh boy. This is a little sketchy. There's a lot of water here, that's for sure. This park is full of water. Ah, boy. Okay. Maybe I should probably focus more on hiking than filming right now. Let's see if I can get across. Like I said, I'm trying not to destroy any habitat. This is a hiking trail, so it's kind of awkward. This is kind of a hiking trail, actually. I think this is going to lead up to where I entered the park. It's just there's a big stream in the middle of it, which is cool. I love seeing it. But I'm also trying to be careful and not disrupt any habitat or slip and fall and get myself all messy. It's beautiful to see water here, though. I will say that. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is a really cool canyon. I don't know the name of this canyon. It probably doesn't matter. I like to know the names of canyons. Has a curious mind, but one thing is, this is beautiful here. I wonder if this would be a good place to find salamanders and stuff like that. Look at that. Really cool place this is. Alright. We'll see if there's any more water crossing. I wouldn't be surprised if there are some more. See, now we're on the other side of the creek. On the other side of the brook right now, so maybe we'll be high and dry. It looks like we're gonna have to cross again. They're gonna be back on the other side of the creek again. See, we're starting to get riparian over here now. So this area must be regularly inundated with water, especially considering the fact we got Gooding's black willow growing here. If we got that growing here, this is probably quite a regular occurrence, whether we get really insane rainy seasons, moderate rainy seasons, or whatever. Pretty cool. All right. Let's see. Hopefully I'll get another amphibian sighting before my day's over. Really digging this. Maybe I should go explore up here maybe a little bit. Maybe. Yeah, maybe another time. There's more of that onion. I don't know if this is the way I went earlier. I don't think so. I think I branched off earlier. Oh, I can smell the onion in the air. It's more of that Allium praecox, the early onion. Praecox means early in Latin. Right there, Allium praecox. What a beautiful, cheerful little plant. I know I mentioned before that I don't like eating onions. I'm not crazy about the texture and the taste, except using onion powder and stuff like that. But they sure make beautiful plants. And the fact that we got a gang of native ones, a lot of native onions around here, just makes it even more interesting. I think this was the trail I went up earlier. I think so. Pretty sure that was it. Yeah. I remember going downhill for a little bit. Yeah. That's the trail going up earlier this afternoon. Pretty neat. All right. Well, I'll see you probably back at the trailhead. Let's see if there's any last opportunities for spotlights over here without having to hike back up the mountain again. So we'll see. I'll see what happens. Well, I'm just about to wrap this up. Just had to do another. Sorry about that. Had to stop, switch out memory cards, and do another spotlight video on another really cool plant. So we're just about down here in the Eucalyptus comodulensis forest. So let me take a little time to appreciate this little spot, because it's pretty in here. It's very pretty. It's very wet in here, but it's very pretty. It's very beautiful, actually. So yeah, we got a lot of water running through this canyon. So I'm almost back at the trailhead. I'll be back within a matter of very short amount of time. I just want to see if there's anything going on over here. I don't know if the frogs would be too crazy about the contents of the water with eucalyptus leaves in it, so I'm not sure, but this is a really peaceful little area. It's a beautiful little spot. And I love this eucalyptus grove here too, so it just kind of adds a little beautiful flair to it. Let's take some time to appreciate this Eucalyptus comodulensis grove here. It's a very pretty area. It's a really cool park. I'm really glad I explored a nice chunk of it today. Might have been a couple other trails that could have gone up or down, but I think I made a pretty interesting loop out of this. So I kind of looped around Dictionary Hill, looped around it to get back here. This is an extraordinary park. Come here in the wet season. If you're a herp lover, you'll definitely like it here too, because of those beautiful little frogs I got to enjoy. I don't know how much action there'll be over here. Doesn't seem to be much, but yeah, got to see some tadpoles, got to see a chorus frog. So if I can see chorus frogs on a more regular basis, that'll definitely make me even happier. But let's take some time to just appreciate how pretty this park is. Definitely like this little eucalyptus grove to start things off. Trailhead's just right over there. That's where I'm parked, right over there. That's Barcelona. So this hike is just about to wrap up as we speak. So this will be my final clip for this hike. But I want to see if I can poke around a little bit here at the trailhead area and see anything else that might pop up. Like the creak of the eucalyptus trees. If you ever hung out with eucalyptus trees, they do creak a lot. I'm trying to see if there's anything going on here in the water. Oh yeah, I think I see fairy shrimp in there. Yeah, I do. It looks like some vertipool. I think that's what those are. Little tiny brown specks that swim around the water. I'm assuming that those are. We'll do a little more research into them. But just like in the vernal pools on top of Dictionary Hill, there are a bunch of them swimming around here. So this must be a vernal pool right here. I'm going to be kind of careful trying to get around this so I don't disturb anything too much. Really cool place. So, obvious question is, do I recommend it? If you've watched any part of this video with the really positive vibes and the praise I've been saying, you're definitely going to know that I do recommend this. Especially because there's a lot here to see, a lot here to do. Quite a few little trails to climb. Well, definitely, this is definitely a very highly recommended spot. So this is going to do it for my hike. Like I said, I see my vehicle over there. So all I got to do is just get across this creek again. What a cool spot. Again, beautiful eucalyptus trees here, Eucalyptus comodulensis, of course. And now, eucalyptus leaf litter can definitely cause problems in the soil because of its allelopathic chemicals. However, a lot of our native plants just seem to grow under them like there's no problem, like this toyon here. There's a couple laurel sumacs under here. Even broombaccarus and coyote brush grow under here without any problems. So, whereas eucalyptus trees leaf litter with the essential oils in them might cause a lot of other plants not to do well. Some of them just Some of them handle it like a champion. So here it is. Dictionary Hill. Beautiful hike, fun time. Got to summit 2 hills today. Got to see a frog. Got to see some wildflowers. It's all good in my book. So thanks for watching. Come out here and check it out for yourself. Beautiful place. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on my next hike, hopefully next week. I think we'll have some time to dry out, I'm assuming. Next Tuesday, it'll probably be a regular Tuesday hike again on March 28th, I'm assuming. So let's hope that that works out. See you on the next hike.